Welcome. Welcome to the Inside. I am happy to see you here. It's time for a change. Now, what I'd like you to do is to first go to your email inbox and to make sure that you receive the email that I just sent you. Make sure it didn't go to your spam or your junk mail. So put me on pause right now. I'll be right here waiting for you when you come back to make sure that it went to your email inbox. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going to share with you the 3 most important things that have helped me transform my life from that picture you saw in the intro video of me in the background looking lifeless to me sitting here confidently in front of this video camera today. I want you to make sure that you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you something very amazing that you can use in your life immediately to feel better in all situations. Now you might be asking, who am I and why do I have the authority to speak on this subject? Well, this is why. It's February 12th, 1987. I'm 20 years old and I'm attending San Diego State University and I'm in biology class with another 100 students or so. You know, in those big classrooms with the stadium seating. And the professor asked a question and I raise my hand to answer the question and he calls on me. So I stand up to answer the question. Then all of a sudden, I paused and I paused and I paused. Nothing would come out of my mouth. It was like my mind went blank. Then all of a sudden, this fear just overtook my whole body. And I felt like I was being judged and just being ridiculed by each and every person in that room. And I started sweating uncontrollably. So I just grabbed my books, I ran out of that class, never to return again. Over the next few days, I tried to go back on campus once again. And from class to class, I felt very uneasy, that feeling again of being judged and ridiculed by everybody around me. And the anxiety was uncontrollable. I was sweating like all day long, just sitting there. And I didn't know what was going on. So I started staying home, and really that started the abuse of alcohol because I didn't know how to get rid of the feeling of the anxiety, and the alcohol made me feel somewhat relaxed. But of course, the alcohol took over my days, and I started missing school, and I eventually dropped out of school. About a year later, I had moved back home, and I still didn't know what was going on with me. So I decided to go see a psychologist. And this is what he told me. Son, you have something that we call social phobia, which is the intense fear of social situations. Now get this, I was, from the age of 0 to 20, I was probably the most outgoing, most ambitious, most friendliest person you could ever meet. And now this shocking news. It was like somebody unscrewed my head and took out confidence, took out my self-esteem, took out my worthiness, and put in my head fear, low self-esteem, pessimism, being unworthy, and screwed my head back on and just left me there. I didn't know where to turn. And I was lost. I was really lost in my life, and I didn't know where to go. And it wasn't until I found these 3 things that I'm going to share with you that really got me to sitting here before you today, feeling confident again, feeling optimistic again, and being able to do the things that I want to do in my life. So one of the most important things I discovered is when I was going through that period in my life, I was just living day to day. I didn't really have any type of focus. And it wasn't until I started having some daily rituals that things really started to change in my life. I mean, we do get up and, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you eat breakfast. Those are pretty necessary rituals that you do on a daily basis, but there are a few things that you can do right before bed and right before you get out the bed that really changed my life completely. I want to give you something very powerful that you can start using immediately in your life. Now, think about some times when you lose your keys or you lose something, you can't remember it, and you try and concentrate and think about where you left the keys. And the more you think about it, the more you try and concentrate on it, the more you can't find it. Then usually later on, maybe an hour or two, or maybe the next day when you're not even thinking about it, it just pops into your mind. You'd be like, wow. And then you go check, and there your keys are. Well, this is very powerful. So this is something that you can do right before you go to bed at night. If there's something that you have been trying to figure out and you haven't gotten the answer yet, before you go to bed at night, ask that question to yourself. And you command your subconscious mind, say, subconscious mind, I command you to answer this particular question. And just go to bed, go to sleep, forget about it. Maybe the next day when you wake up, you get a hunch, or you get a phone call, or someone will say something to you. And believe it or not, this is usually the answer to your question. Now, it may not happen right away, but I'm telling you, this works. Now, the second part of this is to have goals in your life. Now, this is something that, again, I didn't incorporate into my life till after I went through my experience, because I was living day by day. I really didn't, just getting up with no focus. But goals are very important. It's like, say for instance, if you wanted to go somewhere you've never been before, like on a long road trip. Now, usually you take a map or use your GPS system. Because if you didn't, you'd probably get lost, you run into roadblocks, you get frustrated, and you go all the way home. Well, goals are the same thing. If you don't have any goals, then you're just going through life aimlessly. And life happens to you, and you're always finding yourself in reaction to the things that happen to you. But when you have goals, you're actually creating your life. And so this is so important to me because, before I didn't have any goals and my life wasn't going anywhere. So to give you an example, I wanted to become a speaker. And without any goals to attain a status of a speaker, I wouldn't be sitting right here where I am now. So what I did is I joined Toastmasters, for example. And that's when I started getting some experience, and that was one goal that I reached that now has me speaking in front of crowds, in front of people. It was something to get me to the next level. So you need to have some goals. And I have a succinct plan. I have a plan that I'm going to share with you in the product that works very well for me on a day-to-day basis, on a monthly basis, and a yearly basis. I'm going to give you the exact plan that I use. Now, lastly, I want to help you to learn how to change your energy so that you'll feel better instantly when you like to. What I like to do now, what I spoke about in the beginning of the video, is to take you through a process that you will see the power of your energy and how you can change the way you feel instantaneously. Now, what I'd like you to do, stand up straight. I'd like you to close your eyes. Only if you're not driving, if you're not doing anything dangerous. I want you to stand up again and close your eyes. Now I want you to think about a time in your life when you were really sad or something really bad happened to your life. Something really bad happened to you. I want you to take your mind to that experience, and I want you to feel those feelings. Feel the sadness, feel the disappointment, feel the anger inside of you. Let it simmer as you stand there with your eyes closed. Now, take a step to the right. Now open your eyes. Now, did you feel that? That's right. You left all that bad energy to the left. You stepped out of that bad energy into something new. So this is the third part of my process that's very powerful. I have something that I use on a daily basis that can shift my energy when I'm not feeling so good. And in a few minutes, I could change my energy that keeps me going forward and feeling positive and feeling better each and every moment of my day. And this is the third and probably the most important part of my system that is key in changing how you feel, so you can feel more confident as you go in each and every part of your life. Now, once inside my product, you will receive the exact rituals I use on a daily basis that propels me forward in my life. You will get the exact format on how my goals are written in the exact areas of your life where you will get the most impact. And lastly, I will teach you the exact techniques that I use to change my energy whenever I need to shift how I feel. Now act immediately, because the first 10 people will get a free 30-minute strategy session with me tailored to your goals using my system. And the first 5 people will get a 50% reduction in any of my services or programs going forward for the rest of your life. I want to say thank you for spending time with me, and I look forward to our relationship going forward. Thank you.